Now the outsider question, what is outsider art, is quite tricky. I think it has changed in the past decade, really. Hi, I'm Phil Baird, and I'm this artist. I've worked in the arts field for almost 40 years now, starting at college about 42 years ago. So I've been through all sorts of experiences and produced work all along, really, although there have been many months when I haven't been able to create anything at all. I suppose this experience sort of fuels the artworks. Stories, a journey of the imagination, and what's very important is the materials, because the materials like to be used in sort of ways that make them work, as a sort of a representation of an inner world, I suppose, really. I think the problem around sort of definition of an outsider is sort of problematic. I think it's a bit like receiving a psychiatric diagnosis. Perhaps it's a sort of mysterious thing anyway, and it'll never properly be defined. It doesn't matter whether people are outsiders or the difficult problems and sort of disabilities or whatever. Is you know, it's all in the art, you know. Hello. Well, here we are at studio number 3. I have this daily when present drawings. So each time I come into the studio, I do a quick drawing of a scene from the window, mainly the Lee Bible Study Centre, some cranes, some trees, some buildings, and two lights. So it's part of my practice that as soon as I come into the studio, as quickly as possible, I start a drawing, which I'm going to do now. Find my pencil. So I developed a style through art therapy, and it was to do with like all the drawings I wish I'd done when I was a child. So they're a bit sort of cartoony, a bit scribbly, a bit childish, but it was a way of working through like many years of experience. But it was like a childish sort of style, and I'm quite often surprised when I see my work when it's finished. How on earth did I do that? How did I put the work together? That it, you know, it's almost like someone else has done it. I mean, they haven't, but. Yeah. I'm an artist who produces work in different medias. I do music as well. My main focus for the past 15 years has been on drawing, not painting particularly. People who know me says, "Oh, you've been doing any painting today?" I said, "No, I've been drawing." So that I mean, the core. I would really like to be known as a a draftsman as well. There's written works as well and musical stuff as well, but I think draftsman and drawing are at the sort of like the core of what I do.
If you look at the term outsider art, and initially the term is supposed to be addressing artists who have created without supposedly any knowledge or about the general art world or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, my name is Carlo Kashishian, and I am mainly doing drawings at the moment. I have done some painting as well, but mainly I'm doing drawings. At the moment, I mean, so for the last 8 years or so, I've been mainly focused on doing these diary drawings, which are mostly personal, so they're comprised of very compressed text in ink. What inspired me to start creating, I suppose the sort of cliched answer which is relevant is that when you're a child you're encouraged to express yourself by creating, and you're assisted in creating, hand paintings and things and whatever. I don't remember all that much, even though I still have some examples, so the evidence is there that I was doing that. Is it in here? Let me just see if it's in here. I've got these old drawings which kind of help explain. I don't know where exactly they are. I think they're in here. These ones. Sorry, I'm not organized and I didn't get these things ready, but basically these are drawings that are on the back of my schoolwork. So this is geography, GCSE, and this is from 1997, from January 97. I would have had some of these drawings with some text in them, but I don't know exactly where they are. But this is the first one that I did with lettering, like fully just lettering, no other marks, although there are some lines here. Eventually the teacher told me to start using a separate sheet of paper, that it's okay for me to do that, but I shouldn't do it on the school books or on my homework or whatever. So it came out of doing that. So for lack of a better word, I was doodling. In terms of whether I'm self-taught, I would say the art that I make stems from a system that I've developed myself outside of any art teachings that I had. I'm ambivalent about the term outsider art for a variety of reasons. One, the term outsider art, or an outsider in itself, an outside of what exactly? And that in itself is quite ambiguous. I mean, like who someone thinks I am is not who I think I am, and who I think I am isn't who I really am either. And everyone thinks of me, as an example, everyone has a different idea about who I am, and I have a different idea about who I am. None of those are real, I think. So am I outside or inside, or I mean, it's how do you define the self in any case? I mean, they're not outsiders to themselves, are they? So who's defining who and why? I think it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. That's why it's very hard to articulate it for me at this point. Why shouldn't an artist is an artist? So why do we need to create subdivisions of that?
It's like lots of different worlds, London. You go into different. Get down. It's amazing how things change going through London. You know, it's so radically different architecture and sorts of people, and really diverse. Yeah, I had a little show there at the Piccadilly St James's. There's a wonderful prints and bookshop here. It's very rare books. Eric Gill prints. So we're really in the centre of things here, and it's so great that we're going to see these three artists that have a show in the office buildings of Cerno Capital. I'm sure it was there.
Oh, hi. Phil.
Yeah?
There.
Oh, is it? Hello there. Sorry, we were barking up the wrong Pegasus house. Oh, thank you. Hi guys. Yeah, so here we are at just off Piccadilly, just round the corner from the Royal Academy. And it's the outside in Discover, which is all very good. So this is a fully operational business address. Outside in represents those who haven't had much exposure in the art world, and it champions people with all sorts of difficulties, mental health problems, physical disabilities, learning disabilities. But the thing is that there are people who suffer from these conditions are artists as well. It can be therapeutic making art like this, but the emphasis is not on the therapy, it's on the art. I think that's what outsiders mainly do, is that they create their own little world. And it could be a pop arty world like Rackable, or what looks to be an abstract world of Nina. So that's, I think that gets a little bit towards the definition of outside outer art, is that people who create their own worlds in a sense. And also, like, you get into a debate of where somebody's exhibited, you know, and recognised, so are they outsider or not? And when it becomes synonymous with money, I don't think it's very helpful for me. It's all about the work and what people have put in of themselves into the work. I look at it very much as as artwork, the way you'd look at any artwork, though of sort of many appealing factors about them, but you know, it's really not about labelling people in a particular style. Well, I hope this makes sense.